And hello, everybody. This is Chris from the Stewart Buzz. Yeah, different scenery. I know. Today's episode, we're going to talk about how to listen to your body. Recently, I had a heart attack and had to have quadruple bypass. So, bear with me as we get through this. Had I not listened to my body when all of this happened, I probably would not be here today. So how it went down, on a Wednesday night, here I was having some heaviness on my chest and sweating. Figured, oh, okay, no big deal, right? So I went back to bed, woke up the next morning, still had the heaviness on my chest, but, went food shopping, did what we had to do, and then decided to take my blood pressure. And my blood pressure was probably 170 over whatever, extremely high. So I took it like 7 times to make sure that it wasn't malfunctioning, the blood pressure machine, because clearly nothing can happen to me, right? So after doing so, it was extremely high. I decided to drive myself to the hospital just to have myself checked out. Well, lo and behold, hold on, let me adjust this. Lo and behold, yes, they said that I have the enzymes double the twice of a heart attack. So then I would need a catheterization. Okay, it was my day off. So I got this catheterization with the expectations that they may find something and maybe put a stent in or something like that, which is logical, right? That's what you think. I'm only 63 years old. So what happened was I got this catheterization. Mind you, I got to tell you, the people at Cleveland Clinic did a fantastic job. They were thorough. The surgeon was thorough. The gentleman who did the cath was extremely. Everybody was just so nice. The ICU people were amazing. Emergency room was amazing. All very awesome people. So shout out to them, by the way. So here I am deciding. Okay, well, I really didn't decide whether or not I should do it. I really didn't have much of a choice. It was either one or the other. So I got this catheterization thinking, all right, I'm going to get these stents put in. That's going to be awesome. So the dude hooked everything up to me, and here I am watching as I'm getting a catheterization live while I'm awake and watching my heart, which is quite humbling, by the way, when you see your own heart beating and stuff. So anyway, the guy's like, I don't believe you're going to be getting any of those stents put in today. You got like 9 blockages. I was like, 9 blockages. Okay. The one of the nurses said, had I not come in at that point, I probably would never have been able to come in, if you get my drift. So after doing so, I shared the news with Jeannie, of course, and I said, the guy said, like, you need bypass surgery. The doctor was really pretty cool, though. He came into me and said, well, we looked at everything, and you definitely have some serious blockages. Gave me a piece of paper with the image of my heart and showing what arteries are blocked, and 100% blocked, and 95% blocked, 50% blocked, 65%, 75%, all these things. And so he goes, I'm going to do a triple bypass, maybe a quadruple. It depends when I get in there. I'm like, get in there? Really? Isn't there a chest bone on the way? They take a surgical saw and cut my chest bone open. Okay, that was fun. Anyway, I didn't feel anything, thanks to the anesthesiologist. That's a tough word. Who was also awesome. But so what happens is I get into the recovery room, not remembering anything. There are days that that are wiped out of my mind. Um, and it's quite humbling. I'll go on with that in a minute. So what happened was is that the doctor came up to me and says, by the way, we did a quadruple bypass. So I remember saying to the doctor, this is one thing I do remember saying, so you're telling me that I purchased 3 of them and I got 1 free? He says, yes, absolutely. And here I am. I had it on the 27th. Today is the 11th. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks of doing absolutely freaking nothing. Not being able to really walk far. Each day is a success for me. But the road to getting to this just 2 weeks is me being in ICU and then telling me that I have to get up and walk. I'm like, okay, really? So I did. I walked around and walked around. Key to success, key to getting better is to get up, walk, move around, not to exert yourself in any way. There's a lot of limitations, like me not being able to walk the dog, or me not being able to drive, or me not being able to pick up anything heavier, and not even as heavy as a milk carton. So it's humbling in that sense where you really can't do anything. Thank God I have an amazing woman who actually is helping me and doing everything for me, and that is Jeannie. She is just outstanding, and I am so grateful for her. Gee, I almost teared up there for a minute. So from the moment I got up and the moment I'm walking around, then I thought to myself, okay, what happens if I have to go to the bathroom? Well, that's quite the humbling experience too. For somebody who is extremely private and doesn't do it, I definitely had to let my guard down, trust people, and these nurses and everything are just outstanding. Even to today, where I'm at home, where I have to pretty much do nothing other than use my little breath machine and to keep on going, keep on trucking. I gotta tell you, it is just the most humbling experience, even down to if there's a little fluid that seems to be coming out and I don't know what I'm doing. Are you serious right now? Guys, if you think, or girls, you think that nothing like this can happen to you, I eat extremely healthy. There is 1 day a week that I just would go off me eating healthy. I don't even call it a diet. It's just been a way of life for so many years. And I gotta tell you, it was genetics. It's not about the eating. It's not about me like not taking care of myself. It was genetics either way. I was doomed. Everybody in my family had heart disease. So when you feel your body going through something, I would listen to it if I were you, because the alternative may not even be around after a while. As of now, I sleep on the couch for the fear of not being able to get up from the bed, because the bed's fairly high for a little midget like me. I tried to sleep on the bed, and it was difficult for me to get up the first couple nights. My visit to the doctor is on Monday, whether or not he can tell me what I should be doing or what I shouldn't be doing. The other thing is that you're afraid to do things. I'm afraid to walk outside for fear that I'll trip and bust this thing open. So there are these stainless steel surgical, if you want to say, wire inside my body that will remain inside my body until I die. And then maybe somebody will scrap it for metal. I don't know. But that is in there. They don't remove it anymore. And they don't use these like railroad track staples anymore. On Monday, hopefully, they'll be taking the staples out, or at least whatever the doctor says, I'm cool with. But that's what's happening. The scarring, don't worry about it. Those are battle scars. It is interesting to look at, knowing that somebody took a surgical saw to your breastbone, to your sternum, right here, and cut it open, and then wire it shut. God forbid I sneeze. That's one of my fears as well. So there is, I heard recently there was somebody that was having chest pains and they refused to go to the doctor. Why? Why? Oh, because, I have to work. I got to do this. I got to do that. Well, think of the alternative. I would not have an alternative. That's what I was told. There was no alternative. I had to do this. I said to the doctor, well, should I get a second opinion? He goes, yeah, you can get one. Go ahead. Like, where do you go for a second opinion on that and not have to worry about having a massive heart attack again? Because that's what I had. I did have a massive heart attack. So I decided to go through with it. Here I am sitting in front of you today and being quite humble about it. In the upcoming podcasts, we are going to have some of the nurses and some of the doctors and other people that had to go through this. And from going to a superhero type of human being that they thought they were, to a humbling person who really can't do much right now. I know many people have this and you think it's fairly routine. I agree. I was one of them. My mother had at least 4 of these operations. My whole family had these operations. I didn't think anything of it. Had my mother been alive today, I would have looked at her and said, how did you possibly do this 4 times? It's insane. I never want to be able to do this again. So luckily, I am the youngest out of all of them, and I had it done the latest in my life than the rest of them. My mother started when she was about, 40 years old or somewhere around there with her first heart attack. So I am quite lucky and blessed that I had to wait till 63 in order to perfect this wonderful heart attack. I still have arteries that are blocked. Apparently, those arteries are irrelevant because they're really small arteries, other than the 2 main arteries that were 95 and like 100% blocked. So he did the most 4 prominent arteries that he thought would work best for me. Now, the fear of your blood pressure being too low. So here I am, have a blood pressure machine right by the couch. Um, Grateful that we purchased a really cool couch that's electric and extremely comfortable. Not as comfortable as the bed though, I'll tell you. I can't wait till I get back into bed and sleep like a normal human being. But um, the blood pressure machine, now my blood pressure is sometimes 88 over 65, um, where it's supposed to be like 120 over 70 or 120 over 80, around there. And then it's like, then I think the lowest it became was like 77 over 55. I figured I would call the doctor again and say, hey, is this normal? And they were like, well, you need to get up and move around a little bit. Make sure you stay hydrated. So I'm drinking all this water. And I guess my heart is working really well because, not to be so graphic, but I haven't peed so much in my entire life. And I had lost, I think, about 18 pounds so far um, from before that I walked in. So, yes, I look a little bit different. I have a little bit of facial hair here. Um, I still shave my head, but I figured, you know what? I'm just going to keep it. Uh, it's easier that way. So you have to drink lots of water. And what I decided to do is have Jeannie see if she can get me because she's just been running around ragged and again doing an amazing job. So I would actually get a bag of pretzels with some salt on it so I can eat that so I can get like salt in my body because I'm really crazy, but I definitely still eat extremely healthy. Um, I Monday plan on going and asking if I can have an ice cream sundae, just to say thanks to myself for going through this. So in the middle of the night, just so you know, and this is all what to expect if something like this happens. Um, Everybody says yes, it's fairly routine. It is a fairly routine operation now, although it is a major operation, um, highly successful, but still a very major operation. The fear that I always have is busting this sucker open. Now, everybody says that it would be really difficult to be able to do that, but one thing I recommend to everybody is don't use Google. Don't use Google to find out what can happen. Why bother putting it out there? I mean, I did, and I'm like, okay, so that was my paranoia of sneezing or coughing too much. They gave you this little heart pillow. Use it. I'm telling you, it's a lifesaver. It stops you from busting stuff open. So here I am, 2 weeks into my surgery tomorrow, and I am able to walk, watch TV, um, do some minor things, make myself like a cup of coffee, things like that. I may be able to do more, but I don't want to do that until the doctor tells me that I can do that. As I was saying, in the upcoming series, we're going to go over this with a lot of people and see what they feel or how they felt during the operation and how were their nurses, how was their recovery, what obstacles did they go through, if any. Maybe they didn't. Maybe it was easier for them. Although I got to tell you, I think after 2 weeks, I'm doing pretty damn good. Um, just afraid to do something until the doctor tells me that I can. So we will talk to you guys later. I hope you have an amazing day. That is my update for today. I am trucking along here. I'm hoping to at least to be able to sit at work or something. But I will hear. I heard something about 5 or 6 weeks before I should be doing that. I'm 2 weeks into it, but I believe that I am going faster because I'm not necessarily pushing myself, but what I'm doing is trying to um, take care of myself, walk slowly, but continue to walk. Key thing, don't just sit on the couch. And that's it. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. If you have any questions about this, you can comment below, and then I will answer them for you. If you know anybody that's going through this, show this to them to show them that what they're going through is absolutely normal. And if not, you can leave me a message of what they are going through. And I'll tell you if I left anything out because I don't remember some things. Yeah, I didn't even remember to pay an electric bill. I totally forgot. I didn't even know that I ever paid that particular electric bill. And I just don't remember. So there are some things that are wiped from my memory. Some people say it's due to the anesthesia. I don't know. But that's it. I hope you guys have a blessed day. I hope you found it a little bit helpful, but we are going to have more information coming, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.